Well, hello there, boys and girls from Carmuirs Primary School. It's me, Eric, from Camlin Parish Church, and I am overjoyed and delighted to be spending a bit of time with you today. You know what? I spoke to Mrs. Wilson the other day, and I said, oh goodness, I miss coming to the school for assembly and seeing all of your beautiful faces. Some of you I've seen in the streets, yes, but the majority of you I haven't seen. And so I'm hoping that we'll spend a bit of time together reflecting on a few important things. Now, I know that it's been a difficult year, but I've been told that you have all been behaving really well and that you're working exceptionally hard. So I just want to give you a big thumbs up and give you a congratulations for that. I know you will feel that maybe you couldn't have gone trick-or-treating or guising, but at least you were possibly, like me, enjoying all the fireworks that we see and saw in the last week. Boys and girls, today I want to talk to you a bit about symbols. Do you know what a symbol is? Let me give you an example. Maybe at the back here, you can see one or two symbols. A flag, for example, can be a symbol. You know I love flags, and so it represents something of a country. When you see the symbol, you see something behind the symbol. A heart, for example, means love. We know that. Or let's check out this symbol. What do you think this means? Can you help me out? That's right. This is a sign for recycling. So when you have a bit of plastic or you've got some paper, you know you need to put it into the burgundy bin or the blue bin so that we can recycle or reuse and make sure that we look after the planet that you and we inhabit. What about this next sign? What does this mean? It means exit. Usually we see this atop of a door, and then we know that in case of an emergency, we need to go through there because it's the closest place to leave a building. What about this sign? Well, it's not really a sign, it's a Christmas tree. And when you see a Christmas tree, you know we're getting close to Christmas, and maybe you think of presents and family, and maybe having a nice meal with the ones that you love. How about this? Easter egg. Don't we all just love that time of year? Lots and lots of chocolate. So symbol means something more than just the symbol itself. Like a stop sign, for example. You're instructed to stop, and it's there to keep you safe, to keep you out of harm's way, so that pedestrians can cross the road safely and motors don't crash into one another. Now, my last symbol isn't a picture, it's something that I have here that I want to show you. What is this? Do you know what this is? Look a bit closer. You've seen this before. You know what this is. This is also a symbol, but this is a poppy. It's a flower. You can see that, right? Well, we often see people wearing this time of year. Where? Well, they wear it on their collar or on some piece of clothing. You sometimes see the poppy stuck on the back of people's cars or stuck on their grills. I've seen a few big trucks having massive poppies on the front of their grills. And it kind of makes an impression, doesn't it? You kind of think, wow, it's that time of year again. It's poppy season. Although we're in autumn, it's poppy season and there's lots of flowers all around. Well, I mean, what does it mean? And where does it come from? Well, I'll just briefly explain that to you. First of all, symbols are important. It helps us to stop and to remember what is really important, like safety or getting out of a room in the best possible way. Or it reminds us of a festive time in the year, like Christmas or Easter. In the same way, the poppy reminds us that we are safe. That here in Camlin, here in Falkirk, the Central Belt, Scotland, the United Kingdom, we are not at war. And you know what, boys and girls? Wars are terrible. People fight each other and they get hurt really bad. Some people even die. When there's no war, there's peace. So you can say that we are here currently in peace. But you know what? It came at a cost, a very dear cost. A bit of a history lesson. From 1914 to 1918 and from 1939 to 1945, we had the First and the Second World War. And many young people, especially young men from this area where you live in Camlin, had to leave to fight in either of these two wars and a few prior to that as well. And you know what, boys and girls? Many of these young men didn't come back. So a lot of families were very hurt and very sad because young men and women didn't come back after fighting. Luckily, Britain won the war, and the sacrifices meant that we can have peace today. And so when we wear this poppy, when we see this poppy, it symbolizes something of this peace. We remember that we are free, but that it came at a very dear cost. Lots of young people gave their lives so that we can be free. And this poppy then reminds us that we should never get into a fight or be violent with other people. Rather, we should love other people. It's the best way to live your life. That's what this poppy is also all about. It's about love, sharing love, and loving one another. In the Bible, the Word of God, Jesus teaches us that the best way to love is to think of other people before you think of yourself. And we see this in Jesus' life, God's Son, who gave His life, like the soldiers, so that we can be free and enjoy everlasting peace. So, I'm going to end off with this. In this week, when you see the poppies, on Wednesday, when we have our Armistice Day or Remembrance Day at 11 o'clock, I want you, when you see the poppy, to think of three things. I want you to remember all the people and the animals who gave their life as sacrifice for our freedom. And I want you just for a second to pause and thank them for what they've done. Then secondly, think of countries around the world where they don't have peace. Maybe ask your mom or your dad or your granddad or your grandma to tell you about places where there's still war. And I want you to think of them and I want you to pray for them. And then thirdly, remember that love is the best way to love. Let's think of that. Let's think of the fact that we need to think of other people before we think of ourselves. That's what's going to bring us together, especially during this difficult time of COVID. To reach out to one another and to love one another. When you see this poppy this week, think of love. I hope you have a good day and may you be blessed, boys and girls. Cheerio for now. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.